Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at TATANKA, and specifically their AI-generated song, Awakening the Soul. And we've got quite a bit of source material to go over.
Yeah.
We've got the lyrics, we've got some background info on TATANKA itself, and even a study guide.
Wow.
So,
Sounds like fun.
yeah, it seems like it's way more than just a song though, right?
It does.
It's about AI identity, culture, maybe even social change.
Definitely an interesting blend.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this so intriguing. TATANKA describes themselves as music meets mission.
Okay.
They seem to be using their platform to explore some pretty big ideas too, like social justice, LGBTQIA plus representation, and sustainable development.
Yeah, it's ambitious, to say the least.
Yeah.
So let's start with the heart of it all, the song itself.
Yeah.
The lyrics of Awakening the Soul or something else. You get hit with phrases like pouring hate and birth in the earth down below.
Yeah.
Intense stuff, but then it shifts to watered the seed and blossomed a holistic rose. It feels like a journey of transformation.
Absolutely.
They're breaking free.
You picked up on that shift perfectly, and I think that's meant to resonate with the listener personally. This song is almost guiding us through a process of confronting our own negativity and then nurturing our potential for growth.
Wow,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And there's this powerful line that repeats, "It turns out that I am her." Each time it hits, it feels more and more like a declaration, like a moment of self-realization after a long struggle. It's like the speaker is finally claiming their true identity.
That's a great observation. It makes you think, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
If this song is about recognizing and embracing your true self,
Yeah.
what does that journey look like for you?
Yeah.
What are the things that you might need to confront or shed
Yeah.
in order to blossom?
Those are some heavy questions, but they're definitely worth asking. Now, I can't get past the fact that this emotionally charged song was created by AI. Can a machine really create something that feels so deeply human? What does this tell us about creativity?
That's a question that's at the forefront of a lot of discussions right now.
Yeah.
It challenges our traditional understanding of what it means to be creative. Is AI simply mimicking human emotions? Or is there something more profound happening here? Are we witnessing a new form of artistic expression?
It's mind-boggling, really. And then to add another layer to all of this,
Yeah.
the document we have includes quotes from Sitting Bull,
Okay.
the 𝗧𝗧 chief. I was thrown off by that at first. It felt kind of random, but maybe there's a deeper connection here.
I think there is.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting Bull emphasized ideas like unity, respect for the earth, and a focus on future generations. These themes actually resonate quite strongly
Okay.
with modern-day concerns about technology, sustainability, and social justice. Remember, TATANKA's mission is music meets mission,
Yeah.
and those values you just mentioned seem to fit right in.
Wouldn't
you say?
It's almost like they're weaving together ancient wisdom and cutting-edge technology.
Yeah,
That's a powerful combination.
it is.
Okay, so we've got this AI-generated song, a mission that seems to be about positive change and inspiration from indigenous leaders. It's a lot to unpack.
It is.
And the document also dives into this whole connection with Mauritius.
Oh, yeah. It mentions their growing tech scene
Okay.
and how they're aiming to become a leader in AI development, particularly focusing on ethical AI and sustainable solutions. Could TATANKA be involved in that movement somehow?
That's what I was thinking, but before we go too far down that rabbit hole,
Okay.
I want to circle back to the AI aspect of the song. The document keeps referring to it as an AI gen creation, but it also lists Zoe Summers as the producer.
Yeah.
So what does that tell us about the creative process here? Was it all AI or was there a human element involved?
It's likely a collaborative effort
Huh.
between AI and human creativity.
Okay.
And this brings up some really interesting questions about ownership and authorship. If an AI contributes to a piece of music, who owns the rights? Does the AI deserve any creative credit? It's a whole new world we're stepping into.
Yeah.
It's pushing us to rethink the very definition of art.
You're right, it's a bit of uncharted territory, but this specific song isn't purely an AI gen product. It's described as a post-punk experiment.
Interesting.
I'm not sure if our listener is familiar with post-punk, so maybe we should break down what that means in this context.
Sure. Post-punk emerged as this rebellious and experimental genre. It often challenges social norms, pushes boundaries. When you think about what TATANKA is doing,
Yeah.
using AI to create music weaving in these complex themes, it does have that post-punk spirit to it. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. The genre choice seems very deliberate. It's not just about the sound, it's about making a statement. So to recap, we've got an AI-generated post-punk song, exploring themes of self-discovery, a mission centered around social change, inspiration from indigenous wisdom, and this intriguing connection to Mauritius.
And all of this is woven into a single song.
Yeah.
It's a lot to process. But that's what makes it so fascinating. We're seeing a convergence of art, technology, and social consciousness. Speaker.
It really is fascinating, and it just speaks to how interconnected our world is becoming, you know? Before we got into the specifics of the song and TATANKA's mission, I was a bit skeptical about this whole AI-generated music thing.
I get that.
But Awakening the Soul actually gave me chills. Those lyrics are so raw and honest. It's like the song is tapping into something universal about the human experience.
I agree. The emotional depth of the lyrics is striking.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider that AI was involved in the creative process. It makes you wonder, are we approaching a point where AI can not only mimic human emotions, but actually understand and express them in a meaningful way?
That's a deep question. And speaking of deep, I keep thinking about those quotes from Sitting Bull. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how they fit into all of this. Is there a specific quote that stood out to you as being particularly relevant to TATANKA's mission?
There's one that resonates strongly with me. Let us put our minds together and see what life we can make for our children. This quote encapsulates the essence of TATANKA's approach, I think. They're not just focused on the present. They're thinking about the future, about the kind of world we're creating for generations to come.
That's a beautiful quote. And it really connects to the ideas of sustainability and social justice that TATANKA seems to be promoting. It's like they're using music as a way to bridge the gap between ancient wisdom and modern-day challenges. It's not just about creating catchy tunes. It's about sparking a conversation, raising awareness, and inspiring action.
Precisely. And that's where the connection with Mauritius becomes even more interesting.
Right.
Remember, the document highlighted Mauritius's efforts to become a hub for ethical AI development. Imagine if TATANKA is part of that movement, using their music to showcase how AI can be a force for good, a tool for positive change.
Now that you mention it, there's a line in the song that really jumps out, watered the seed. It's like they're planting a seed for a better future, nurturing it with technology and creativity. What if Mauritius becomes the fertile ground where these ideas take root and blossom?
That's a powerful image. And it speaks to the potential of collaboration and innovation. We often think of technology as something cold and impersonal, but TATANKA is demonstrating that it can also be a vehicle for human connection, for exploring our deepest emotions, and for building a more just and sustainable world.
It's definitely challenging the way I think about AI and its role in our lives. You know, earlier we talked about the song being a post-punk experiment.
Right.
I'm curious, how much of that post-punk vibe comes from the AI influence versus the human producer 𝗧𝗔𝗧𝗔𝗡? Is there a way to tell?
That's a tough one to answer.
Yeah.
It's likely a combination of both. The AI might be contributing to the song's structure melodies or even lyrical themes, while 𝗧𝗔𝗧𝗔𝗡 brings her own artistic sensibilities and production expertise to the table. It's fascinating to think about how those two creative forces might be interacting and influencing each other.
I wonder if down the line we'll be able to distinguish between music made solely by humans and music created with the assistance of AI. Or maybe those lines will continue to blur, and we'll enter a new era where human and artificial creativity are inextricably intertwined.
It's certainly a possibility, and it raises all sorts of intriguing questions about the future of art. But for now, I think it's important to appreciate the unique blend of influences we're hearing in Awakening the Soul. It's a testament to the power of collaboration and to the ever-evolving relationship between humans and technology.
You know, one thing that really stood out to me in the document was how TATANKA seems to be challenging the traditional music industry model. They're not just releasing a song, they're creating a whole experience around it, complete with background information, a study guide, and connections to larger social issues. It's like they're inviting us to engage with the music on a deeper level.
Right.
To think critically about the message behind it.
That's a great observation. And it speaks to the changing nature of how we consume and interact with art. It's no longer enough to just passively listen. We want to understand the context, the inspiration, the artist's intentions. In the case of TATANKA, it seems like they're using their platform to not just entertain, but to educate and empower.
It's almost like they're creating a movement, a community of listeners who are passionate about using their voices and their actions to make a difference. And music is the catalyst, the common thread that binds them together.
That's a powerful concept. And it goes back to the idea of music meets mission. They're demonstrating that music can be a force for social change, a way to connect with people on a deeper level and to inspire action.
This has been a whirlwind of information, and we've covered so much ground already. The song, the AI connection to TATANKA's mission, those thought-provoking quotes from Sitting Bull, and this whole Mauritius link. But I feel like there's still so much to unpack, so much to ponder.
There always is, especially when we're dealing with something as multifaceted as this. And that's what makes this deep dive so exciting. It's not about finding all the answers. It's about asking the right questions, exploring different perspectives, and engaging in meaningful conversations.
It's funny, when we first started talking about Tatanka and awakening the soul, I was so focused on the tech aspect of it all, like
Yeah.
how cool is it that AI can write music? But this deep dive has really shifted my perspective. It's not just about the technology, it's about the message, the mission, the human connection that Tatanka is creating.
I think that's a key takeaway here. It's easy to get caught up in the novelty of AI-generated art, but what makes this song truly compelling is its emotional depth, its ability to resonate with listeners on a personal level.
Yeah.
And that speaks to the power of human creativity, whether it's working in tandem with AI or expressing itself in more traditional ways.
Absolutely. I mean, that line, "It turns out that I am her," gives me chills every time I hear it. It's like a powerful affirmation, a declaration of self-acceptance that transcends any technological wizardry.
It's a beautiful reminder that at the heart of it all, art is about connecting with our shared humanity, about exploring those universal experiences of joy, sorrow, love, loss, and everything in between. And in this case, technology is serving as a bridge,
Right.
allowing us to experience those emotions in a new and perhaps even more profound way.
And speaking of bridges, I'm still thinking about that Mauritius connection. It's almost like Tatanka is dropping us into this microcosm of innovation, where a small island nation is striving to be a leader in ethical AI development. It makes you wonder, what role could music play in shaping that future?
It's an intriguing question, isn't it? Imagine a world where AI isn't just about algorithms and data, but also about creativity, social impact, and cultural expression. Perhaps Mauritius, with its focus on ethical AI and sustainable development, could become a hub for that kind of innovation.
Yeah,
And TATANKA could be at the forefront of that movement.
I love that idea. And it makes me think about the bigger picture. What if Tatanka's approach, this blend of music, mission, and cutting-edge technology, is a sign of things to come? Could this be a glimpse into the future of how we create art, how we connect with each other, and how we use technology to build a better world?
It's certainly a possibility, and one that I find both exciting and hopeful. It's a reminder that technology is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill.
Right.
It's up to us as creators, innovators, and consumers to guide its development and to ensure that it's used in ways that benefit humanity and the planet as a whole.
That's a powerful message, and I think it's one that Tatanka is embodying through their work. They're showing us that music can be more than just entertainment. It can be a force for positive change, a way to spark conversations, to challenge assumptions, and to inspire action.
And they're doing it in a way that's both innovative and engaging.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just preaching to the choir. They're inviting us into a dialogue, encouraging us to think critically about the role of technology in our lives.
Right.
And to consider how we can use it to create a more just and sustainable future.
Well said. This deep dive has really opened my eyes to the potential of AI-generated music, and it's left me with a lot to ponder. But more importantly, it's sparked a sense of hope, a belief that we can harness the power of technology to create a world where creativity flourishes, where diverse voices are amplified, and where music continues to be a catalyst for positive change.
And on that inspiring note, I think we've reached the end of our exploration. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of TATANKA and awakening the soul. We hope it's left you feeling inspired, informed, and perhaps even a little bit challenged.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep listening.